Imagine being taken from your homeland, put in a cage, and forced to be stared at like an animal. This is not fiction. This was the life of Sarah Baartman. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and share this story to help keep African history alive and honored. Sarah Baartman, the African woman exhibited like an animal in Europe. Before the cage. Long before she was taken across oceans and displayed in glass cages. Before her name was twisted into a spectacle for the amusement of Europe. Sarah Baartman was just a young woman of the land. She was not born to be a curiosity. She was born to be free. Sarah Baartman was born around 1789, near the Gamtoos River in what is now South Africa's Eastern Cape. She belonged to the Khoikhoi people, an indigenous group whose ancestors had lived in southern Africa for thousands of years. The Khoikhoi were cattle herders, storytellers, and spiritual people. Their lives were closely tied to nature, family, and tradition. Among her people, Sarah's body, especially her full hips and curvy figure, was respected, even celebrated. It was seen as a symbol of beauty, strength, and fertility. But in the eyes of colonizers, that same body would be treated with mockery, exploitation, and cruelty. Sarah's world began to change when European settlers, first Dutch and then British, invaded her homeland. Land was stolen. People were enslaved. Cultures were attacked. Her community, like many others, was forced to submit to foreign rule. At a young age, Sarah lost her family and became a servant in Cape Town, working in the homes of colonists. She was just a teenager, navigating a world that did not see her as human. In 1810, Sarah met two men, Hendrik Cesar, a freedman of color who had adopted European ways, and William Dunlop, a British doctor. They offered her a chance to travel to London, to be shown in exhibitions where people would admire her unique figure. They promised fame, wealth, and opportunity. But Sarah didn't fully understand what they meant. She could not know that in Europe, she would not be admired. She would be displayed. She would be dehumanized. She boarded the ship, full of uncertainty, and left Africa behind. The journey to London was long and degrading. Sarah was treated as a specimen, not a person. When she arrived, she was given a new name, the Hottentot Venus, a name that reduced her people to a slur, and her body to an object of shameful fascination. In the months to come, Sarah would be forced to stand half-naked in front of laughing crowds. They touched her. They mocked her. They paid to stare at her body as if she were a beast in a zoo. But what they refused to see was the woman behind the glass. Before the pain. Before the cages. Before the name Hottentot Venus echoed through London streets, Sarah Baartman had a home, a language, a name. She was more than a body. She was a human being, and the world had already failed her. Coming next in part 2, Sarah Baartman in Europe, a life on display and the fight for her freedom. Subscribe to Echoes of Africa to help us share the voices history tried to silence. Like, comment, and share to honor those who were never meant to be forgotten.